the Governor RN Ravi has taken back a contentious order, which was the first of its kind in recent memory, that announced the dismissal of Minister V Senthil Balaji from the Council of Ministers without consulting Chief Minister MK Stalin, escalating the bitter standoff between the Governor and the DMK government.
Well, the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister MK Stalin has called for a meeting of senior leaders as well as legal experts, which is going to take place this morning. A strong worded letter will be sent to the Governor, is what sources are saying post that meeting. Mr. Balaji, who was arrested 2 weeks ago and is in jail amid criminal proceedings in an alleged cash for job scandal, had been retained as a minister without portfolio by Mr. Stalin, a decision that the Governor had decided to unilaterally override.
And that is, the Governor actually took a U-turn on his decision late last evening, and he said that he will be consulting the Attorney General. And for now, that decision has been put on hold, which means that the arrested Minister Senthil Balaji continues to be a minister without portfolio, as the Governor's decision has been put on hold. But today, Divya, is going to be crucial, because yesterday, the DMK actually decided to go to the Supreme Court challenging this move by the Governor. But now that we have seen that the Governor has actually taken back his order, we'll wait to see what the DMK actually does, considering that the Governor is not going ahead with his order, and he's saying he's going to be consulting his Attorney General. But there's going to be an
the Chief Minister is also holding that meeting, Priyanshi, and that's going to be taking place just 2 hours from now, where he will be consulting legal experts as well as senior leaders during that meeting that will be taking place, chaired by the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, MK Stalin. A strong worded letter is what they were saying would be sent to the Governor, but now that the Governor has taken back his decision, so we will wait to see what really unfolds from there on.
Absolutely, and this was completely unprecedented, if I might add, that there has never been a case in recent memory of a Governor dismissing a minister from the Council of Ministers without the advice of the Chief Minister. And in this case, Divya, as we know, that Senthil Balaji was arrested by the Enforcement Directorate 2 weeks ago in a cash for job scandal. So on allegations of money laundering, he was arrested. So the Governor had said yesterday in a letter around 7:30, we got that letter, and at that time the Governor had said in his letter that he can't be a minister because he's facing these serious allegations, and him being a minister could impact the investigation into this money laundering case. And then we saw that within just 2 hours of that letter, the Governor actually sent out a second letter, according to sources, in which he took back his decision. My colleague Sam Daniel is joining us from Chennai now. And Sam, the Governor has taken back his decision, but despite that, the DMK plans to go all guns blazing, with the meeting coming up at 10:30 a.m.
That's right, Priyanshi and Divya. The ruling DMK plans to take it to the Supreme Court. The Chief Minister saying that the Governor has no powers to drop a minister from his cabinet unilaterally. It's only on the advice of the Chief Minister a Governor can induct or remove a member from the cabinet. And in fact, this tussle began soon after the Supreme Court earlier this month had paved way for continuation of investigation against Senthil Balaji, who at that time was only facing allegations, not arrested. At that time, the Governor had written to the Chief Minister asking him to be dropped, but Stalin shot back, saying that there are even central ministers now, and they have been in the past as well, with criminal allegations, and he should write to the Prime Minister or the BJP to drop those ministers. And his letter, again, after the arrest, suggesting he has to drop, again, that was not well received. Chief Minister MK Stalin chose to retain Balaji as a minister without portfolios, and even passed a government order to that effect. It's in that context yesterday's letter and then withdrawal gains significance. The DMK says it's looking at this issue at 2 different levels. Constitutionally, they say there's no way, nowhere it says that anyone facing criminal allegations or corruption allegations ought to be dropped from the cabinet. Only after conviction, that motion will fall into place, and a person will be removed and will not be allowed to contest for 6 years if the conviction is beyond 2 years. And they say this Governor, acting in a politically partisan way, aiding the BJP in the state, which has a very negligible presence in the state, to build a corruption narrative against the ruling DMK ahead of the 2024 elections. And they say in that context, it will be suicidal on their part to fall into that trap. And that's why they say on the question of moral grounds. Removing Balaji from the cabinet will not work. They would not do that because they say this kind of a thing could follow against a few other ministers as well, and that will dent their moral courage or their morality before elections, and that will be damaging the DMK's prospect. That's why they want to convey a message that the leadership, the party's leadership, is strongly backing these ministers when they face allegations. They are confident that it will not stand legal scrutiny, but they do not want to fall into that pressure, fall into that particular narrative of the governor. The Rajban, of course, denies allegations. But many also point out that despite Supreme Court recently ruling that the governors ought to abide by the Council of Ministers, this is one governor, many say, doesn't indicate that he is keen to follow those guidelines seriously. Lastly, this is one among the many such face-offs in the recent past, began with the governor delaying the bill seeking exemption from NEET for Tamil Nadu after the assembly passed. At least 17 bills are still pending with the governor seeking his assent. And the last one was the governor walking out of the Tamil Nadu assembly, not reading the official version but skipping certain parts, including not referring to names of leaders like Ambedkar, Periyar, Kamarajar and Karunanidhi.